I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that every one of you watching this probably likes video game music. But sometimes you don't actually need a video game to go with it. This is the idea behind the OST Composing Jam. You get a theme and an image prompt, and you make a soundtrack based on those. This time around, the prompt was Inside My World with this neat little image to go along with it. Instantly, I got the sense that this was going to be a game that involves the exploration of dreams. So, letting my mind run wild a bit, I came up with the very simple storyline that you are this little girl traveling through the dream world to find your mother, which is this silhouette. As I post this, the voting period should still be live, so look in the description for a playlist with all the songs, as well as the jam submission page, and please go listen to it and rate it. I would love to hear your feedback. For this soundtrack, I wanted it to be pretty calm and laid back, somewhat like Stardew Valley. We're going to have a main theme, a character theme for the mother character, as well as one for dreams and nightmares respectively, and a final boss theme. However, I've never composed a full song before, let alone a whole-ass soundtrack. The exception being some loops for the games I've made on the channel, but that hardly counts. But with the program I was using, Reaper, I had no fear. So what did I actually end up doing? I figured it would be a good idea to start with chords because those are the basis of really any song. For this, I just got my guitar out and played some basic chord progressions that I knew until I found one that I liked. With this first song, the main theme, all I did was break up the notes of the chord and play them individually, and I got this nice little riff, which I thought was perfect for the vibe I was going for. At this point, though, I only had the melody on my actual guitar, not on the computer. Recording wasn't really an option for me, so I had to recreate it in Reaper. So, how do we do that? Apparently there's these things called plugins and VSTs, which can act as effects and virtual instruments to make your rhythmic noise with. I got some cool free ones because I'm cheaper than a can of Arizona iced tea, but that didn't stop me from making some great finds. First of all, for our acoustic guitar, the plugin called Ample works really well. It sounds pretty realistic and has a lot of features that I didn't dare touch. Sometimes it was a little frustrating because it kinda had two modes, one where it would be individual notes and one where it was strumming patterns and other sound effects, and those different modes used the same keys on the piano roll. I fixed this by just splitting the guitar into two different tracks, rhythm and lead though. After that, it was really easy to have a computer make the noises that my fingers normally. After this intro part, I played around with some melodies and hopped around on the notes and the chords, and some alternative strumming patterns. After a while, it sounded like this. Going down my to-do list, we had the Mother's character theme coming up next. For this, I wanted it to be mostly done with a music box, because those sound nostalgic and potentially a little creepy. I also wanted it to sound similar to Memory from Undertale and the White Lady from Hollow Knight. So I stole them. I literally recreated them in the DAW from ear and then changed the notes around. I don't think you can really tell though, because I changed them quite a bit, so it's not theft, it's inspiration. In fact, every single one of these songs was inspired by another one. It might be fun to comment what you think each song was based on. If you can guess them all, then I don't know, you should probably go outside every once in a while. Anyway, this kinda just resulted in two separate songs. Not much else to say about them. Next, it was time for the Dreams theme. For this song, I wanted it to be happy, but you see, I'm a game dev, meaning that I've long forgotten how to smile or what the warmth of the sun feels like. This resulted in the song going in a couple of different directions, which I think were actually pretty good on their own, but they didn't fit the feeling I was going for. Eventually, after messing around a bit and changing the chord progression, I just decided I was going to start anew on the song and finish it no matter where it took me. For this, I wanted to experiment with a bit more of an EDM or a lo-fi feel to it and make it more atmospheric. And I did that for a while until I wanted to put a melody into it. This time, I had an intro melody that I made, again, by just placing notes that were part of the chord in a rhythm that I liked. Then I wanted it to build up a bit more, so I layered it on a second melody, which just kind of heard. So naturally this needed a beat drop. Now, I only really listen to classic rock, so I don't know how to do that, but I just added one of those build-up drum loops, layered the melody a bunch, and made it more syncopated, and I think it turned out well enough. I'm not really sure how many non-rhythm games have beat drops in their soundtrack, but I don't know, maybe this part only plays during cutscenes or something. After I finished the song, I liked it, but it wasn't really what I was looking for the dream theme. So I basically just took the main theme, but did it backwards. Now I wanted a nightmare theme. The idea here was to have it be the dream theme, but dark and heavy, probably hard rock or metal. The easiest way to do this was obviously just make the acoustic guitar electric and plug it into a big amp. It was hard to find a guitar tone that had enough bite that it would be menacing, but clean enough that it wouldn't sound like Slipknot though. After finding one that was passable, I rearranged the rhythm to be darker, which ended up just being Enter Sandman. After spending a while on the song, it just didn't fit, so I scrapped it. Now it was time for the final boss theme. It was going to be epic, it was going to be legendary, it was going to be beautiful and terrifying, and I ended up not recording the session. Oops. Honestly though, I basically just stole the song I wanted it to sound like, made it scarier, and then played that on strings, after building up with some cinematic drums, tubular bells, the occasional ah-wahs of a choir, and a killer rhythm guitar. I just used the same melody on a distorted. To end it off, we put a little bit of music box in there to make sure that it looped at least somewhat well, and actually I really like how it turned out. So yeah, that's that. I actually kind of want to make this a game now, but it's gonna have to be put on the back burner after some other projects. I'd really appreciate it if you go check out the songs and rate the submission on itch. The most popular seems to be Lucidity, but comment which one was your favorite. If you guys want, I can try to make a more tutorial-like video on this topic as well. See you next time.